right places, away from harm, and you know that it did so much for us, man. That it's a part of me. It's ingrained in me. So I will always. I tell my wife this. I was like, you know, I will never stop. I'm always going to have a studio and some turntables and some music. I don't care what. I don't care how old I am. I'm going to do this. So either
Right.
you got to accept this, or you know, walk away before we get too deep into this thing. This was years ago. She ain't going nowhere. But I'm always going to have a studio. I'm always going to make beats. And it's not no 50 years old, you too old to rap, or you too old to do this or do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't consider myself a rapper anyway, but
Right.
even though I've rapped before, but I'm not going to stop. It's not going to stop.
I got you.
Question about that. Where do you think the ageism in hip hop comes from? Because we seem to be the only genre that does that in music. Like if you're 40 or 50 years old, you got to stop rapping. You got to stop making beats. You got to just get out the way.
Um, I will say that on a commercial, more like mainstream level, it seems like hip hop was always tailored to the younger generation. You know what I'm saying? The people who were getting signed and really launching and making it big in hip hop were younger, usually in their teens or early 20s. Not saying that nobody was successful in their 20s, but like a lot of those people who are successful now were getting started at that age, you know, when they were younger, from the Poor Righteous Teachers to the Biz Markie, rest in peace, to, you know, the MC Shans and everybody. I mean, the Jay-Z's, even the Nas, like they were all young when they got started. So they tend to deem this game a young man's game or a young man's sport. You know, it's very few that came in at an old age and dominated. I don't even really know off the top who was old and came in and just dominated. You know, I mean, a couple of independent artists that were older when they really launched, but they've been doing it forever. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I just think that's where it comes from. But the other part is our culture. Like, you know, we got some things we need to work on in our culture too as a people. So I think that's
Yeah.
just a big part of it. You know, everybody wanted to rap at some point, and then, you know, so culture wise, as you got older, if you're still trying to do it, you're chasing the old dream. It's kind of like, you know, basketball players. If you're young and you play basketball and you're nice with it, you're gonna get on at an early age. If you, by the time you're getting out of college, if you're not nice with basketball, you pretty much give it up. So I think they take that same concept from sports and from athletics and stuff, and put it with hip hop as well. It's the same type of concept.
Right.
That's what I believe. I just don't agree with it with hip hop. You can start at 50 and be just as nice if you want to, if it's really in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
I would-
even at that age, you might be a little fresher in it if you're just starting. You know, you might have a different take on everything.
Right. And I'm just talking about skill set. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about, you know, I'm just talking about the skill set, the level of actually being able to do it and participate in it. You know,
I think that because I've been doing it since I was probably 12, 13 years old, as far as like rapping. I've been making beats since I was maybe like 19, 20 years old. And I think like the time that I've been putting in made me better. It sharpened me up so much that I was able to pour into younger artists, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like give them the game that I was able to accrue over time. And with that being said, like I'm looking at like the artists that are, you know, late 30s, early 40s that have actually impacted the game in some measure, walking in the door like the Griseldas. You know what I'm saying? They middle-aged men. You know what I'm saying? Ransom found his second wind on, you know what I'm saying, at this stage in his life. He actually found his lane. He got his niche. Rock Marcy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, these are niche artists,
right.
But to know your lane and actually dominate in that area is what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Finding who your audience is. And I think like O said, the ageism aspect is, to me, I agree with you. It's a problematic thing that the industry kind of like reinforces, because they want to make sure they have young, impressionable minds that they can actually pass these contracts out to, who aren't going to scrutinize it as heavily because they're thirsty for the money.
Right.
Whereas you get a little bit older, you got something to lose, you got people that's dependent on you. You're going to look at these contracts with your lawyer, and you're going to go over these things, and you start making demands of your own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have expectations too. And I could imagine that this industry, because we're not unionized, we're not backed by anything other than our own dreams, we kind of enter these situations like, well, I just got to get it where I can.
Right.
You know, and they want that from us. And you know, we older, we got the love of it still. So it's not even about, you know, the
Bread.
biggest payday. I would love to get paid more for what I do, but that's never stopped me from doing what I do.
Right.
You know what I mean?